such as schizophrenics, to own-downs.
Yeah, and this isn't, look, I'm a supporter of the Second Amendment. If you've looked at any of the cartoons in the Pensacola News Journal, they seem to make that point rather comically. But I don't think anybody here wants the mentally ill, people who are truly mentally ill, to be walking back home to their arsenal when they check out of an insane asylum or a mental health institution. So here's what I did, ma'am, in the state of Florida. I was the criminal justice chairman from 2012 to 2014. And a liberal Democrat from Broward County had a bill that said, I want to make sure that when people check out of Chattahoochee, they're not going back home to their arsenal. And that we have the right protocols in place to ensure that that doesn't happen. And there were some Republicans, there were some conservatives who said, well, we just don't think there should be any impairment of that whatsoever. I got the NRA at the table. I got the Newtown advocacy group at the table, Republicans and Democrats, and we passed a law in the state of Florida that is law, that was signed by our governor, that says you can't walk out of a mental institution back to your arsenal at home. That was from feedback from law enforcement and a variety of groups. So we've made some progress there. Here's where I think we can always look to improve. We don't know a lot about mental health. You know, we act like we know a lot, but I think we're just sort of cracking, we're at the tip of the iceberg on the cognitive functions of the human brain and the different things that lead to atrophy and what are the early warning signs of mental health challenges, how do we diagnose and treat, at what point is treatment effective, at what point does that treatment become ineffective. I think we're just at the beginning of that. What I don't want to see is a circumstance where, I've got a friend who, he went through a bad divorce. It was not pleasant. And he was in a rough spot. And he was worried. And so he went and checked himself in with a counselor. He got treatment. He got care. And now he's a fully productive member of society. I don't want to deprive that guy of his rights for that reason. And the other thing I don't want to do is I don't want people to think, well, I might need to see a mental health counselor. I might need to go get service. But I know if I do, I'll lose my Second Amendment rights, so I just won't go get help. Now, I don't want to lead to that dynamic. So I don't have the perfect answer on this. I'm always interested in more input. I think we've got to be very careful about impairing constitutional rights. We can not do that. But I think there is common ground here as we learn more about mental health. I just don't want to drive people away from treatment that is sometimes badly needed.